Current and past players of the Port Adelaide Football Club had a wonderful day in the Sanctum Day at the Grange Hotel last Saturday afternoon. Players came together to exchange great stories, tell some jokes and have an all-round wonderful time. Here's Trengove and Tim Ginever talking about their wonderful experience. So Jack, I understand Saturday was a great day for both the old and the new players at Port Adelaide. How did it come about?
Yeah, I mean, me and Timmy got together probably 2-3 months ago, even a little bit longer now. We wanted to get something going together. We had a good time up in Perth where we just listened to some of the stories that some of the older past players had, and we're able to get it done last week with Matty Promise giving the all clear to have the day, and I think it was a great outcome in the end. We got plenty of great players there and all the playing staff currently, and we had a terrific day and learned a lot about our footy club and the history of our family that we've got here.
Now I know the whole playing group was involved and some of the support staff as well. What did the playing group get out of it? What did some of the younger players get out of it?
I think you just actually finally get to know the blokes that are around the place. I mean, you hear so much about these past players and what they did in their time and how terrific it was, but to actually put a name to a face in a sense and get to know them we pride ourselves on this club being a family club, and we really got to know each other and indulge in each other's company and had a great day, and I think it's going to continue from here on.
Can you share some of the names of the players that you met, some of the stories?
We had the great Timmy Ginever, who was the biggest name there. We had George Fiarchi, Scotty Hodges made his way down there. Kinnear, we had Rowan Smith. We had plenty of great players. I mean, Greg Phillips. There was the who's of Port Adelaide there, and it's great to see the turnout for the first one that we've had, and I think it's only going to build from here.
Your favourite story that we share with you, like one of the favourite game stories or even off-field stories that some of the boys share with you?
Yeah, none of that stuff, mate.
No, there's plenty of stories that we'll keep just to us. But I mean, a good one that I sort of thought, and I thought was terrific, that just to put it in perspective of how good they were. Timmy said that after two losses, they used to come down and have a crisis meeting. That's how good their football club was. It was 2 games and it was all in crisis. They'd come down to a pub or a venue and just talk it out and work out what was going wrong. And then next week they pretty much guarantee that they'd get a win. So just to show how strong they were, and that's what we want to get our football club back to, where we're not losing games and playing terrific football.
So Tim, from your perspective, what did you and some of your so-called older Magpie teammates get out of the day meeting the new generation?
Look, it was terrific. I mean, we had guys like Toby Thurstons and Shea Cockatoo Collins and Michael Wilson, and these guys are from the first squad that got put together in '97, which I think was important as well, that those blokes turned up. But for a lot of the older guys, for me, we start our catch-ups and our barbecues and all that stuff, and we talk about it. And what I explained to these guys was that when I was playing, and we had a particularly poor season in '85, I can remember Russell Ebert, our coach at the time, bringing in old players, and one at a time, from the 50s onwards, John Abley's, these sort of guys, come into the room and told us what it was like to play for Port Adelaide. And the real message that I got out of it was that as long as your bum points to China, you're Port Adelaide once you put that Guernsey on. And know that we and everybody else outside who don't play live our lives through you. And that's all we wanted to put across, and if we could support them and help them in any way, shape or form by forming a relationship, then I think that was only going to be beneficial for the club and for these blokes. But to see the interaction, and what we ended up doing was a bit of a 15-minute speed dating, where 3 or 4 young fellas would have to grab an old bloke and exchange information, stories, you name it, and ask about each other. And it worked really well. We whistled around and off they went and changed around. And the great thing was that I could hear some of the stories that were going on and some of the feedback that was coming to the older players. And the great piece of feedback that I got, and Scott Hodges came along, which was terrific, and said, there should be more of this. And I've just met a heap of guys I've never known before, and I've got a lot more belief and confidence in this group. And George Fiarchi said, I couldn't believe how well these guys actually get on. So there's something building there that's really exciting. I think the big thing for us is that we played in a totally different era, and understanding how professional that they have to be, right to the nth degree, and we really admire that. And I at my first group, there was 2 guys that were drinking water because they're on rehab just for slight injuries, and I said, look, don't be ashamed of that. We really acknowledge your discipline. in this situation, because I can tell you now there was a few of us older blokes that woke up and thought it was another sequel to The Hangover. That was that bad. Where was I? What did I do? But it was fantastic night, and look, great initiative. And like Jacko said, we caught up halfway through the season in Perth, and Rizza and I were at the bar having a chat, and these blokes started coming up and have a chat, and we just said, well, why don't we interact more? And so we've been sort of working towards it. We had a race day with the Magpies, Cox Plate Day, which was really good, and I think the next probably dream for me would be to have a one club catch up. That'd be terrific.
Both groups together.
Absolutely.